Good morning all. So let's start with our next topic, that is electrolysis and electrolytic cell. As you all know, electrolysis is the decomposition of an electrolyte when electric current is passed through its aqueous solution. The process of electrolysis takes place in an electrolytic tank, which is known as electrolytic cell. So, electrolytic cell are those cells in which electrical energy is used to carry out non-spontaneous chemical reaction. A electrolytic cell consists of a glass vessel in which the electrolyte is present in the form of an aqueous solution or in the molten state. Two metal rods are dipped into it and are connected to a battery. These rods are called electrodes. The one which is connected to the negative terminal, of the battery is known as cathode. But as you know, in the electrochemical cell, cathode was having the positive charge, but in electrolytic cell the charge on the cathode will be negative, and the rod which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery is known as anode. Like in electrochemical cell, on cathode reduction takes place, so in electrolytic cell also reduction will take place on cathode, and on anode oxidation will takes place. And the process of electrolysis can be easily explained on the basis of ionic theory. According to this theory, whenever an electrolyte is dissolved in water or is taken in the molten state, the electrolyte dissociates to produce positive and negative charge ions. On passing electrical current, the positive charge ions move towards the cathode and hence are called cations, whereas the negatively charged ions move towards the anode and hence are known as anions. And there are two types of electrode which we can take in this process. First is non-reactive electrode and second is reactive electrode. Non-reactive electrode are made up of platinum and graphite, and they do not interfere or participate in the cell reaction, whereas reactive electrode will going to participate in the cell reaction. The electrode or the reactive electrode can behave as sink or they can also behave as source. Reactive electrodes are generally used in electroplating. For example, in plating of gold, silver or other metals. And in electrolytic cell, the formation of product depends upon the electrode potential values, that is standard reduction potential. As we know, electrochemical cell is governed by Ohm's law. So like this, the quantitative aspect of electrolysis was studied extensively by the Michael Faraday, and his law of electrolysis are known as Faraday's law of electrolysis. So, first law of Faraday states that the amount of metal deposited at the electrode is directly proportional to the charge flowing through the cell, where W is the weight of substance deposit and Q is the charge. If we will remove the sign of proportionality, then what will come? That is Z, and Z is known as the electrochemical equivalent. Now, as we know, charge is I into T, that is current into time. So we can put in this, so W is equals to Z I T. Now, electron electrochemical equivalent is equals to atomic weight upon Nf. And we know 1 Faraday is equals to 96500 Coulomb. So we can write W is equals to atomic weight upon N into F is 96500 into IT. Now let's do one question based on this. The question is, if a current of 0.5 ampere flows through a metallic wire for 2 hours, then how many electrons would flow through the wire? Now in this, current is given to us, time is 2 hours. So we need to convert this into second, then it will be 70 to 100 second. And in this we need to find number of electrons. And we know Q is equals to N into E, where N is number of electrons and E is the charge on electron. So to find this, first of all we need to find Q. So let's find Q first. Q is equals to I into T. So it will be 0.5 into 70 to 100, which will be equals to 3600 Coulomb. Now Q is equals to N into E and N is Q upon E. So it will be 3600 upon 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19, that is charge on electron, and which will be equals to 2250 into 10 raised to the power minus 19. Now let's do second law of Faraday. Second law of Faraday states that when the same quantity of electricity is passed through the solution of different electrolyte connected in series, the mass of the substance produced at the electrode is directly proportional to their equivalent weight. For example, the weight or the mass of Ag deposited is directly proportional to the equivalent weight of silver. Weight or mass of copper deposited at electrode will be directly proportional to the equivalent weight of copper. Then mathematically we can write weight of Ag deposited upon weight of copper deposited is equals to the equivalent weight of the silver upon equivalent weight of the copper. Equivalent weight of any element we can calculate by using formula atomic weight of the element upon number of electron exchange. But after some time, Faraday said second law of electrolysis we can explain on the basis of electron exchange. So 1 Faraday of charge is required if 1 electron exchange is taking place. Again, 1 Faraday of charge is required if 1 electron exchange is taking place. For example, when Na positive accept 1 electron, it gives Na. If 1 electron exchange is taking place, then 1 mole of sodium is deposited. Now, for 1 electron exchange, we need 1 Faraday of charge. Weight of 1 mole of sodium is 23 gram. So, to deposit 23 gram of sodium, we need 1 Faraday of charge. Similarly, for copper 2 positive, if copper 2 positive accept 2 electrons, then it form copper. Now, in this, 2 electron exchange is taking place if 1 mole of copper is deposited. Now, we know for 1 electron exchange we need 1 Faraday of charge. Then for 2 electron we need 2 Faraday of charge. So to deposit 1 mole of copper we need 2 Faraday of charge. Similarly, when aluminium 3 positive will accept 3 electron, it will form 1 mole of aluminium. So in this, to deposit 1 mole of aluminium, we require 3 Faraday of charge. Now let's do 1 or 2 question based on this topic. So first question is, how much charge is required for the following reduction, in which aluminium 3 positive gains 3 electron and convert into aluminium. So as you can see, for the reduction of aluminium 3 positive into aluminium, we require 3 Faraday of charge, which is equals to 3 into 96500, which is the value of 1 Faraday. And it is equals to 289500 coulomb. So the charge is 289500 coulomb. And for the reduction of copper 2 positive to copper, we require 2 Faraday of charge, which is equals to 2 into 96500, which is equals to 193000 coulomb. Next question is, how many Faradays of electricity is required to produce 54 gram of aluminium from molten aluminium oxide? Aluminium oxide dissociate to give aluminium 3 positive and O2 negative. Therefore, the reaction will be aluminium 3 positive will gain 3 electron and convert into 1 mole of aluminium. Atomic weight of aluminium is 27. The amount of electricity produced for 27 gram of aluminium is 3 Faraday, or to deposit 1 mole of aluminium, we need 3 Faraday of charge. But for 54 gram of aluminium, we will require 3F into 54 upon 27, which will be equals to 6 Faraday. Now let's start our next topic, that is product of electrolysis. As we know, cathode is having negatively charged and positively charged cations move towards the cathode. Anode is having positive charge and negatively charged anions move towards the anode. But if in the solution more than one cation or anion are present, then which cation or anion will going to deposit at the electrodes? It depends upon the electrochemical series or standard reduction potential. As we know, at cathode reduction takes place. So the cation which is having more value of standard reduction potential, have more chances of getting deposit. And at anode, as we know, oxidation takes place. So the anion which is having less value of SRP have more chances of getting deposited. So for reduction, SRP value should be high, and for oxidation, the SRP value should be low. Now let's discuss one more term here, that is overpotential or overvoltage. Overpotential or overvoltage is the slowness of electrode reaction that creates electrical resistance at the surface of electrode. It generally happens in the case of gases. If slowness of reaction takes place, then flow of current will also be slow. So to faster the reaction, we need to add extra voltage or external voltage higher than E0 value. Now let's see the product of electrolysis in the molten NaCl. So as you know, NaCl will break into Na positive plus Cl negative. Now in this case, only one cation and one anion is present. So at cathode, as we know, reduction takes place, and who will move towards cathode? that is cation, means Na positive, and Na positive will gain 1 electron and convert into Na, because reduction is the gain of electron. And at anode, oxidation takes place, and who will move towards anode? That is anion. Anion is Cl negative. So Cl negative will lose 1 electron and convert into Cl. This is known as primary change. This Cl is present in the elemental form, and you know chlorine cannot exist in the elemental form, so it will react with one more Cl to form Cl2, that is molecular chlorine, and it is known as secondary change. I hope you have understood this. Now try to find out the product of electrolysis of an aqueous solution of sodium chloride using inert electrode. Second, aqueous solution of copper sulfate using inert electrode. And third, aqueous solution of copper sulfate using copper electrode. So that's all for today. Have a nice day ahead.